I got a bone to pick. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, I got a bone to pick. This is a bit of a rant video. It's got no structure, it's got no graphics, it's got no, hi, how are ya? Name's Griever. It's got none of that. What this has is just a nice little rant video that I sort of wanted to make initially when I first saw that this came out, and I was initially disappointed like so many of the community was. But for right now, I think I'm just gonna, I found the time, I just want to rant. I just want to rant about this. If you guys don't know, Transformers, right? Been going on for longer than I've been alive, probably longer than most of you have been alive. Transformers, the Autobots, Optimus Prime, Megatron, the whole bit, right? So maybe you never actually heard of Transformers. I don't know, where you're living under a rock between the Michael Bay movies, the toy lines for years, the cartoons, the comic books, etc. Transformers has always been around. And if you grew up in the 90s like yours truly, and I mean grow up in the 90s, not like born in 99 and claim you're a 90s kid, no. I mean really been through the 90s, then you guys might remember a little known version of Transformers that I honestly think is better than the original, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is Beast Wars.
Beast Wars!
Beast Wars came out in 1996 and it ended in 99. It was a short-lived 3-season new take on Transformers. Instead of just having the classic Megatron and Optimus Prime and Starscream and Bumblebee and all these guys, we went a new route with this. We had a new generation with brand new characters and such. Not to be said that there wasn't a Megatron and not that there wasn't an Optimus, but they were not the ones we were familiar with. And this honestly is my favorite interpretation because, spoiler alert, it does tie into actual Transformers. This was just a fresh take for people and a great way to introduce kids into it. And I will say, yes, in Canada, they eventually, after the first season and a couple of reruns, they changed the name to Beasties. But at the end of the day, Beast Wars was a fantastic series. Computer generated, won a Daytime Emmy Award. That's how good this series was. And this is bad computer graphics in the 90s. It wasn't that great, but I was rewatching the show. It still held up. It held up fantastically, surprisingly better than I thought. And the voice acting, you know, some of the best voice actors, some who still lend their voices to popular animes and stuff, and other like Nickelodeon and other animations, Western animation today, were in Beast Wars, and they did an enormously fantastic job of it. So iconic, so over the top, campy yet serious. I was looking on YouTube and you could search up so many campy moments with these guys. Not only that, they had that bit of that Disney flair. And not in the bad way that, you know, Rian Johnson tried to add Disney flair, like the Marvel Cinematic Universe humor to a Star Wars film. No. In the good way. In the fourth wall breaking way. In the innuendos that kids aren't going to get. It's not going to get rid of your G rating for your show, but parents can sit down, slave away with their kids, sit down and watch this show and actually be entertained themselves because they're going to get the jokes because of creative writing, very creative writing, that just over a kid's head, and when they're old enough to get it, they laugh at it then too. So, wonderfully done. Beast Wars, Transformers, 3 seasons of pure greatness. So, why the history lesson? You're wondering, why am I telling you all this? How could I be ranting? How could I be upset? Since Beast Wars, other than a 1 to 2 season thing called Beast Machines that happened later, and I wasn't really into that, so, you know, forgive me for that one. It just wasn't nearly my cup of tea or nearly as good as the original Beast Wars. But what we got, we've been waiting 20 years. I personally have been waiting 20 years. I've been around since 99. I was around in 96. I watched Beast Wars before it was changed to Beasties in Canada. Yeah, that's old. So, I've been waiting 2 goddamn decades. 2 decades! Man, I'm really aging myself here. But 2 decades, I've been waiting to see my favorite guys again. To see, and trust me, most of them are. Waspinator. Waspinator was absolutely a one-shot villain, a comic relief, wasn't meant to survive all the way into the second series of Beast Machines, but he was so popular because of his voice, because of his antics, because of his, very Wile E. Coyote accidents, that he became popular. Like, that was the greatness of Beast Wars. They added characters that they thought that they could write off in season 1, and they just had to stick around. You had Dinobot, probably the best. You know what? Fuck it. The best Transformer ever created, Dinobot. Dinobot is the pinnacle of what Transformers are. Better than Bumblebee, better than Starscream, better than Optimus Prime, better than all of them. The coolest one. So Dinobot's the man. You had his dynamic with the rest of the crew. You had Optimus Prime, you had Rhinox, Ratchet, Megatron. Yes. You had all of these great characters. You had a fantastic crew of characters, all these great storylines, and they actually tie it all back in together to the original series. It was so well done. So what did I wait 20 years for? I heard that Beast Wars is coming back. And I went, alright, how are they going to wait? Let's not get excited. Maybe they're going to do something stupid. They did. But maybe they're going to do something stupid. And what did I hear about? A movie. I heard about a movie. Thankfully not Michael Bay's product, but still a movie revolving around the Beast Wars Transformers. Apparently Ron Perlman, a great fan of Ron Perlman, is going to play Optimus Primal. You know what? If you're not going to give me my original voice actor, and I understand it's a big movie budget, etc., etc., Ron Perlman's a pretty good choice for Optimus Primal. I think we could all agree. He would have the look, and he would have the thing. If you were going to pick an actor to play Optimus Primal, I think that's a goddamn good choice. So I was like, all right, we're getting a movie. We're getting a live action movie with Beast Wars. Don't know if they're going to screw it up, but I was like, all right, I'm optimistic. Then I hear about something even better, in my opinion, even better, because live action, take it or leave it most times. I heard that there was this series on Netflix, War for Cybertron. It was going to be amazing, and apparently is very, very well done. And the third chapter was going to be called Kingdom. It was coming out this year in the summer. I was having a really bad week. I've been having a bad year like the rest of you, and it was just like, you know what? The grass is greener now. The grass is greener. You got Bleach coming back in more ways than one. Shaman King is around. Inuyasha sequel. All these things, lifting of the borders. The pandemic seems to be sort of bunkering down somewhat, except for places like Florida and stupid places. But anyways, the main thing is 2021 was looking up. We're looking on the bright side. And what better way to celebrate? Having a bad week, a bad day, and going, Beast Wars comes out today. I'm going to see Beast Wars again. And then there was only a teaser trailer for it. No voice acting, no shots, no nothing. No idea what this was going to look like. And I went into it. I watched it. Yeah, that fucking sucked. Okay? Let's just be real. Let's be real. This is not what you do. Whoever decided, you know what? Here's the problem. I don't understand production in its entirety. Never been a part of a production development crew of any type for TV, movies, anything. So maybe I don't know who's to blame. What I'm going to say is, the guy who came up with the idea, hey, we got this Netflix trilogy going on. Old characters, Transformers, in the new 2021 version Transformers. Why don't we bring back an Emmy-winning version from 20 years ago that everybody loves, that at the very least will get adults. Listen, I didn't even know the series existed until YouTube and everywhere was blowing up. Beast Wars is back. Because there's a bunch of 90s kids on the internet and they love it. And we all wanted to see our favorites back. So it was a great marketing idea, and it was a fantastic idea in general. Especially the idea that Optimus Prime, Bumblebee, Starscream, Megatron, all the originals were somehow going to meet up with the Beast Wars. Now, as far as the Beast Wars continuity, that makes no sense. But given where they went with the story and stuff, I sort of semi-watched the last season a little bit just to get, okay, so they're sort of screwing around in the past sort of idea. So, sure, whatever, right? It doesn't have to make perfect sense as long as we get great team-ups. It's more of a nostalgia trip for a lot of 90s kids, right? So, not only will I argue that the idea was good, but executed so poorly on every front that this is abysmal. This has me pessimistic, and I love Ron Perlman, pessimistic about the Beast Wars movie now. Because whatever dumbass executed that idea, it might have been the same guy. Same guy might have said, yeah, we should bring Beast Wars back. That shit was popular as hell. We'll drag all the 90s kids into it. Let's do it. Great idea. If he had, or she, or whoever, had any idea, I don't know, once again, how production companies do things, but from that conversation into what we got, something went completely wrong. Something went bogus, went doo-doo, went completely bullshittery. Because on every front, it messed up. For one thing, did anybody even try calling the original voice cast? They're all still, from what I understand, I know for a fact that Scott McNeil, who is one of the big voice actors, because he did Rat Trap, Dinobot, Waspinator, all them, I know he's still working. Richard Newman, I don't know if he's still working, but Ian James Corlett, I believe, is still working. David K is definitely still working because he worked this year on the Inuyasha sequel. So, did anybody even try calling these people? I don't even know a single one of these people. When I tried to look up the new voice cast, most of their links are red because they don't have a Wikipedia page. Not necessarily a bad thing. They're an unknown. I don't have a problem with unknowns. But you don't tease, because here's the problem with the marketing idea for this. Is that their whole idea was we're bringing back Beast Wars for the sole reason of nostalgia. We're going to drag the 90s kids and their memories back to Netflix and everybody's going to watch it. They weren't wrong to do that. That's good marketing. That's a good way to convince people. Use nostalgia. It's worked before. It'll work again. It'll always work. But the problem is that they went, we're going to tease them with it, and then we're going to pull the rug out from under their stupid little 90s feet. That's what we're going to do, because they didn't try. They didn't try anything. They didn't even try, for one thing, Optimus Prime, alright, personalities, totally wrong. Especially Megatron and Optimus Primal. I mean, that's not them. It's not them. Completely different characters. Not a shred. Couple of lines from the show. But not a shred of anything relating to the actual characters left in these two. Then they decide, alright, let's add, not only did we make Megatron, and a lot of people have made the memes already about Megatron being a fangirl of the original Megatron and stuff like that. Not saying that he wouldn't try to cooperate or whatever, but anyway, we're not getting into that point. But, yeah, abysmal. Optimus Prime, abysmal, because now these aren't our Beast Wars. These aren't our Beasties. These aren't our Maximals and our Predacons, because they're not even acting like themselves. Not only that, you also make Scorponok this, multifaceted like foot soldiers from Star Wars. You don't have Waspinator. You don't have Tarantulas. You then decide that Air Razor is super important. And don't get me wrong, but you make Tigertron a 180 character. Rat Trap is just... And no, the worst thing is that not only... You could argue, hey, you can argue, and I told you guys this video would have no structure because I'm all over the map here. I'm carpet bombing my arguments all over the place. But you could have had, if you were pulling on the 90s heartstrings, but let's say that wasn't your intention. You just say, hey, we're bringing Beast Wars back. They're got the same name, they got the same design, but these are not the Beast Wars you know. Fine, dandy. But that is not what they did. That is not what they did, and I can fucking prove it because there is a line from Beast Wars, a catchphrase, a line, a meme, whatever you want to call it, in every episode from an original Maximal or Predacon. It's just butchered and ruined. Not only that, they try to recreate. Spoilers for Beast Wars. Trust me, guys. Go check it out. It's a great fucking show. Spoilers for Beast Wars. Dinobot dies. And that death was a holy shit moment for the 90s children community. They literally tried to jam-pack all our feelings and all our adventures with Dinobot and killed him off in like 3 episodes. Most of which are focused on Optimus Prime and Megatron, the original. Not even focused on the Maximals or the Predacons. We've had zero build-up. We have no reason. Dinobot was killed off in Season 2. It took that long for us to get to know the character, understand his honor, understand his brutality and his savagery, but also understand he had a code and he was a warrior at heart and all this stuff. They tried to jam-pack that in 20 minutes and make me feel bad. And the worst part is that you fucking know that they went, the Dinobot death was the big thing with Beast Wars. We're going to recreate that. We're going to stamp on your memories and make you feel... So, you can't tell me that they weren't playing the nostalgia fiddle. You know, they were do suckers. That's what they did. They clearly did it. It was abysmal. An absolute insult to everybody who grew up with an Emmy winning, which War for Cybertron, I don't even want to look it up because if that thing won a fucking award for anything, I'm going to... Like, I don't even know what to do. Because this is Beast Wars. This is Transformers. Not the crap you just produced on Netflix. Which, by the way, honestly, Beast Wars looks better than this. How do you have the budget of Transformers and you make something look worse? You could argue, no, it's all this, that, and the other thing. I will argue back. I will say that, in all honesty, the way, like, everything looks smoother. I'm not denying that. The environments look better. Everything looks more rendered. Everything looks cleaner. But can you argue it actually looks better? You know what I mean? Like, they tried to go a little more realistic. They go so clunky with the Autobots to try to keep the originality, but then they go so organic and so smooth looking with the beasties. It's just like I don't know what they're doing. And once again, so you're playing on my nostalgia. You make them say all my favorite lines. You butcher all my favorite lines and all my childhood memories. You take away the major character death in the entire series. You expect people to get upset over it. Then you bring him back as a ghost. Then, ooh, icing on the cake. They have all these sparks and all these people show up. And everybody's defending in the final episode of the Kingdom arc. Or chapter, whatever they call it. And then, You know what they have the balls to do? Show off all these guys and then not show our ghost Dinobot as leading the charge or being the head. We don't see him again. He never even actually joined Maxwell's, and they make fun of that. They think they're being funny, and they think they're like being generous to us 90s fans by saying, you would have made a terrible Maximal. That's the last thing as he dies. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't even know where this video is going anymore. I'm just so actually infuriated. I thought I could do this semi-calmly. You know, talk about the history of Beast Wars, talk about the history of Transformers, say that War for Cybertron is the worst thing I've ever seen. But, like, people complain about Record of Ragnarok. Jesus Christ, take a load of this shit. Maybe Transformers OG fans or OC or whatever you call yourselves fucking would love this, right? Maybe they're going, well, it's all about Optimus Prime. And I would argue Optimus Prime was a better character. I will argue that Dinobot is the greatest Transformer with the most character. I would argue Rat Trap's the funniest. I would argue that almost every single character in Beast Wars is better than the original. Which is rare for me to not go the traditional route. But I would argue that. And even if I'm wrong about this, you can't convince me that this was not butchery. This is shit. All you did was kill off all our favorite characters. You didn't even make us like them by the end. Like, sure, some of them are alive, they all got back to Cybertron, whatever, by the end. But I don't like any of them. Predacon Megatron is a simp. He is a complete fangirling simp, which bears zero resemblance to David Kay's The Maximals, yes. There's a YouTube, search up Megatron, yes, on YouTube. I fucking dare you. You know what you're going to get? Not the original Megatron. You're going to get Megatron Yes compilation from Beast Wars of him just saying, yes, because it was over the top iconic. Whoever voiced him butchered it. Whoever told them to do it butchered it. I don't even remember Optimus Primal at any point saying, that's just Prime. Like, they took some of our things and butchered them, but they didn't even take all of them. So as a nostalgia thing, it's completely ruined. Now, from a character standpoint outside of nostalgia, I think I made my argument that nostalgia base, they were trying for it, they marketed it, they brought it to the forefront, and they completely ruined and butchered it. I had to watch an entire season of Beast Wars Original after watching that. Literally, I stayed up till 3 in the morning. I downloaded it all. I had to sit down and watch it all to cleanse my eyes of this abysmal creation that they thought was good. 20 years later, this is what I get? Whoever created, I'm not sure who created Beast Wars. I know they won an Emmy for it or whatever, but whoever created Beast Wars, if they're still alive, they're looking at that and going, what did you do? What did you do to my thing? What did you do? I won an Emmy for this, and this is what you do with it? Like, and then, like, even if you got away from the nostalgia, the storyline's terrible. It's rushed, fast-paced, trying to shove as much Beast Wars content mixed with the Autobots and Decepticons as possible. Rushed, fast-paced, makes no sense. And then, when they finally all do it, as I said, it ends on a cliffhanger anyways. This entire arc builds up to a cliffhanger. And everybody's still separated. Now the Predacons and the Predacons join the Decepticons and the Maximals join the Autobots. There's peace, but there's not peace. So we're back at square one, except now we're all on Cybertron with ghost versions, totally ruined fanfic by a 9-year-old versions of our Beast Wars characters, completely butchered, and they think this is good. War for Cybertron can go suck a dick. And I don't mean like a small dick. I mean like a large, like huge, humongous dick. Because I don't care if it's the greatest Transformers trilogy of all time and everybody loves it because of Optimus Prime and all this shit. Fuck that. I'm from the 90s. Beast Wars was the best version of Transformers ever. Best toys. Best. I wish I had my toys back there. I don't yet. Still trying to dig them out, but I still have my old Transformers toys. I have Optimal Optimus. I have Transmetal Megatron. I've got the guys. I've got these characters. And for them to ruin them like this, I'm just absolutely beside myself with how terribly they treated all these characters. They couldn't decide on a direction. Like, why not just make it... I don't know. They clearly had the budget, but they tried to jam-pack too much things. Like, okay, we're going to introduce an entire nostalgia-based cast. We're not going to bring back any original voice actors. We're going to butcher their characters. We're going to butcher their voices. We're going to butcher everything everybody loved about Beast Wars. Plus, we're going to change Beast Wars continuity for our bullshit storyline. And we're not going to make them the center. We're still focused on Megatron and Optimus Prime. Then don't do it at all. Don't do it at all. It didn't need Kingdom. This didn't need to happen. It didn't need to happen. Kingdom is off. It's terrible. It never happened. It never happened. As far as I'm concerned, this is a black mark that never happened. It's like George Lucas's feelings towards the Star Wars Christmas special. It never happened. He burnt every copy. As a Beast Wars fan, I'm telling you, this didn't happen. Now I'm pessimistic for potentially a good version of Beast Wars coming back with a movie with Ron Perlman. That might actually be good, but now I'm so pessimistic after seeing, because this should have been the one. The live action, you kind of go, alright, I don't know if you can pull it off. It was a computer generated, like, this is one of the first computer generated TV shows. This was the OG, this is the original. Beast Wars and Reboot were the original fully computer generated TV shows. This Netflix series is off the back of literally this. And how did you fuck it up? You got more money, more technology. You got Netflix. How did you mess this up? Who decided? Whoever worked on Kingdom was an idiot. Was an asshole. Never saw the original Beast Wars. Checked the designs. Printed the designs. And said, we're just changing everything. Tigertron wasn't himself. Rat Trap wasn't himself. Optimus Primal and Megatron might as well have been totally different characters. Everything was crap. It was the worst thing I think I've ever seen. At least in my top 5. Got to be in my top 5 worst things I have ever seen. Definitely the worst thing I think I've ever seen on Netflix. Worst thing I've seen in the last 10 years. Yeah. Last 10 years, worst thing I've ever seen. Just easily. I would rather watch Boruto. I would rather sit down and watch Boruto. If that doesn't tell you guys, I would rather watch skipping everything. I'll watch all the filler arcs of an anime. Naruto's filler arcs. Not see a single regular episode. I would rather sit down, watch all of those with no alcohol. That would be more appealing to me than ever seeing a second of this butchery ever again. So there's my video, guys. I know it's not going to get a lot of views. Just wanted to rant about this. I wanted to talk about it. Thought if I waited a couple weeks, I could do it more calmly. Apparently not. I'm still fucking pissed off. How could you do 20 years, Emmy-winning show, that's the video. I need more alcohol before I continue talking. So like, comment, subscribe, everyone. I'm going to go make a happy video after this. I'm going to render this and go make a happy video. A nice reaction video of something fun or something. I don't know. Anyways, I'll find something. Thanks guys so much for watching. You've all been fantastic to stick through my rant this long. But, you know, my last time I roasted a series, it went over pretty well actually. So this time I'm roasting it for all the right reasons. You know, I was roasting the community last time because they were wrong about how bad a show was. Now I'm roasting the show because it is truly that bad. So, yeah. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we will see you all back here next time. There was no rhyme or reason to this video, as you know. Like, comment, and subscribe. Drink responsibly as always. And we will see you guys back here, I assume again. Hopefully. Like, comment, subscribe. Plug, plug, plug. See you back here next time. Beast Wars.
Beast Wars!